Listen up! My mom divorced my dad. And if I'm being honest, I was happy about it. Staying with my dad wasn't healthy. Troubles with my dad continue, but my mom is extremely strong, and I'm so happy to have my single mom. Single moms are so much stronger than you may think. When you hear single mom, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Do you think of a distressed, lonely woman? Or do you think she must be an extremely hardworking woman, and she's probably pretty cool? That's what I think. You possibly do too. But many out there probably don't, which is bad. I think a lot of people have no idea how amazing single mothers can be. The ends they will go to for their children, and in the name of love. I'm not saying that all single moms are good, but a lot of them are and should be recognized for it. They take care of their child in sickness and health. They work and provide shelter, food, basic necessities. They help you tie your shoes, put snacks in your backpack, drive you to practices, fold your clothes, change your sheets, plan special birthdays. They do so many things. It makes my head spin. They do what is best for their kids, and I think that they are awesome for that. If you have a single mom and she's amazing, celebrate her for that. If you have a single mom and she's struggling, help her. And if you have a single mom who is dysfunctional and unhealthy, work to find alternative solutions and ask others for help. And to all you single mothers listening to this, I want to tell you, whether you are in a good place or not, thank you for everything that you are doing for your kids. Your task is unthinkable, and few can imagine the pressures upon you. May you always find the time to enjoy your kids and your family you work so hard to create. I'm Annie on Empower Hour on KXCJLP 105.7 FM. And today's topic is single mothers. And up next we have Lady Line.
You know how you always see Superwoman and Wonder Woman as superheroes who work with other superheroes fighting crime with special powers? Well, I have a different version of them in my mind. To me, my Superwoman is my mom. She fights the world single-handed while still being always present. In other words, she's a real-life superhero. You're tuned to KXCJLP 105.7 FM, Cave Junction, listening to Ladyline, where we ask and you answer. I'm Phoebe Hertler.
I'm Isadora Malay.
And we are Ladyline. Thank you all for tuning in to Ladyline, where today's topic is single moms. Now, if you think about it, all moms are incredible. I mean, they literally get a baby you to go through a hole in between their hips that's pretty dang tiny. And through all of that pain, when you come out, they give you their undivided attention. They care for you 24/7. They take half your breaks from their jobs to take care of you. And through all of that, they have a partner with them to help. Wait, that's actually not all that true. We forgot to mention the single moms, the ones who do all of that but without any help and without a partner. How do they do it?
Well, for one, they're basically superhuman. I mean, how can a person support a family by themselves with a toddler who wakes them up 10 times a night because they're teething? And don't forget the job they have to go to every day, which means they have to leave their baby and get a babysitter, which in turn would probably take hours on the internet trying to figure out which stranger will actually be safe to take care of a baby. And the list just goes on and on and on. I mean, can you imagine the single moms with more than one kid? They really do take motherhood up to the next level. So the question is, how do they do it? How do they fight against all the sexism and patriarchy in the world at the same time as they try to make enough money to support themselves and their child, all the while trying to be present in their kids' lives? I said it twice and I'll say it for the third time. They are superhuman. The Hulk couldn't do what they do. Superwoman couldn't do what they do. In fact, any ordinary person on any ordinary street couldn't do what single moms do. You know, not all heroes wear capes.
The government awards medals to the men and women who fight in wars. They call them heroes. And you know what? They are. But what about the heroes who go unnoticed? The heroes who fight against the minimum wage and pay gap that the government and the corporations put on them? What about the heroes who are single moms who do all of this every single day of their lives?
They go unnoticed because it's so natural to see them in everyday life. They go unnoticed because they have never been noticed for what they do. And honestly, it's messed up. This is why we want to honor them, and that's exactly what we are going to do. We aren't going to stand by and let these beautiful, incredible people be unnoticed by our community and our town anymore. Sure, well, we can't change the entire world's view. We can change our valleys.
And that's what we plan on doing. Because we can't show what single moms do with our own words, we've decided to interview one of them about her life and how she does what she does. This is Giza Lightchuck, and she is a single mother of 3. She has been single parenting for 4.5 years since she had left her toxic relationship. Thank you for coming today, Giza.
Full disclosure, Giza is Phoebe's mom.
Now, before we talk with Giza, we'd like to notify everybody out there that Ladyline is taking calls throughout the duration of this interview. So make sure to call in at 541-592-4112. Again, that's 541-592-4112. If you have anything you'd like to say. Now let's get on with the interview. So, how old are your kids?
Well, I'm honored to be here. And yeah, I have 3 daughters, and they are 16, 13, and 10 years old.
Does their age change a lot? Never mind, let me go to the next question. Could you describe a typical day for you?
Well, right now, since we still have vacation, it's a lot easier. When there's school, we got to get up around 5:30 in the morning. I get up 2 of them because they got to catch the early bus. And when I come back of dropping off the first one, I got to get my third daughter or wake my third daughter up, and then she has to go to the bus. And then I'm going to have to start my day, go to work or take care of the household, all the other tasks you have to do in a normal day. And then after school, the same thing, getting the kids from the bus, getting them home, starting with dinner, seeing what they got in school going on, trying to support them with their homework, and just spending as much time together that we can.
What are some of the challenges you face as a single mom?
I think some of the biggest challenges is really to coordinate everything when you have to go to work, to support yourself, and also trying to give your children some extra curriculums after school. So like being typical soccer mom, which I am not. I'm more of an art and music mom. So just to getting them to their rehearsals or to their classes, it's a big challenge when you're by yourself.
And are you supported by anyone through all this?
Well, I got to say I have one. I mean, I believe in the saying, it takes a village. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole village behind me, but I have at least 2 people that have been there most of the last 4.5 years. And when I'm at work and cannot bring you guys actually to your radio hour or to your classes, they help out and just go and bring you.
And who are these people that help you?
One of them is a real dear friend of mine, and he's been always there the whole entire time. When it got difficult, or he's he's just a real good friend. The other person is my sister, which we kind of have to help each other. She's also a single mom with a son, so I'm gonna watch my nephew a lot, or sometimes when I have to go to work early in the morning before the kids can go on the bus, she's gonna bring them on the bus so that I can be at work in time. And so there's just, you really have to have a certain schedule and a lot of planning and coordination to get everything get everything done.
Yeah. Are you always able to depend on these two people?
Most of the time, yes. And that's, I don't think I would have people in my life if I couldn't depend on them, because that's the most important. Like, the people that I let in our lives are really people that we can depend on, because otherwise it would be too difficult.
Did you imagine that you would ever be a single mom?
Well, I was with my oldest daughter. I've been left by my first husband when I was pregnant with her, so I was alone with her for the first 18 months, which I actually, when I think back, it was quite easy, because you make your own decisions, and you don't have to like, I just did what I thought was good for my child. I didn't have to ask somebody else, or try to how do you I'm sorry. I'm losing my words. It was just easy for me having a baby by myself, because I don't know, you just do it. There was no question. You just do what you got to do. And then when I was in a relationship, after years and years, I just wanted my kids to be in a healthy environment, and my relationship was not healthy. And so that was my best option, to just leave. And I think, as hard as it is sometimes nowadays, it was worse before.
So would you rather be a single mother than being in a relationship where you are in life right now?
I'd rather be a single mother than being in a toxic relationship. That's for sure.
What are some of the ways that being a single mother changed your life for the good and the bad?
For the good is most definitely that our lifestyle is just healthier. We're just happier, and we can be ourselves. On the other hand, it's of course it is hard. I mean, we are more like a unit. It's not that just the mothers do the work. The children are a big part. You kind of have to work together and rely on each other to a certain point. Of course, I'm the one with the responsibilities, but I still have to be able to rely on the girls a little bit to do their part. That when I'm working, that they help me out at home once in a while. I have to rely on them, that they start their homework by themselves or take care of certain tasks by themselves, because there would be no way I could do it myself. And so that's why I believe that children of single moms are quite some superheroes too.
Could you talk a little bit more about how your relationship with your children has progressed while being a single mother?
Yeah, I think we've always been close. But like I said, being a single mother, you have to trust that your children are helping you, like you do the most to help them. And I think they have a lot more responsibilities than children of a couple or of two parents, because there is just not the time for one person to do it all. And my children grew so much over the last few years. They have shown so much growth and responsibility, and I believe that we got even closer because, like I said, we're working together.
How has single parenting emotionally affected you?
Oh, I think I got more confident because I see that I can do it. I was afraid to leave my relationship because I didn't think I was able to raise my children by myself. I did not know where to go, and so I stayed in the relationship, but it was very unhealthy. I was very depressed and down all the time and no self-esteem, and it was just miserable. And when I left this relationship, you had no choice. You just had to do what you had to do, and I saw that I can do it and how strong I am, and that gave me self-esteem and confidence, and I always knew that I'm a strong woman, but there's no question. You just do what you got to do, and it feels good. It really feels good.
That's great.
How do you find time for self-care?
That's a little more difficult. So sometimes I'm just gonna tell my kids, okay, I need a half an hour. I'm just gonna put my headphones on and I'm gonna run on the stepper just to listen to music and not think about anything. And it really is, for me, that's my self-care. I just gotta run for a minute and don't think about anything. Just listen to some nice music and just sometimes think about the day, let the thoughts come and go again, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, you just try to find the time in between.
What advice would you give people who are just becoming single moms?
Oh. Don't ever give up. I don't know. It's going to be hard. It definitely is going to be hard. I hope you have a support system. I hope you have people that want to help you. I hope you are willing to ask for help, because I did not do that in the beginning. I was very alone and I was too proud to go out and say, hey, can somebody please help me? This is hard. And just go out there and try to find resources. There is resources that can help you. There's the DHS, there's the women's support team. There is all kinds of places that help you with food, or even if you have to talk to somebody, there's places where you can get counseling, and you just really got to take care of yourself to be able to take care of your children. It's very important. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. I can tell everybody. It's going to be better if you were in a toxic relationship, but it's going to be hard.
Yeah. What made you ask for help?
It took me years to ask for help, but when it started getting unmanageable, like financially, I just had to go and ask for food, or go to food banks and get help, or ask people if they could bring me places, or pick up the girls and bring them places. It's just, as much of a superhero you guys might think a single mom is, they still need somebody who helps them out.
Yeah, for sure.
You said it took you years to ask for help. And what did you do before then?
I just did it myself.
How did you do it yourself? What are some of the ways that you did it without any help?
I never really thought about it. It was just something I knew I would have to do and I wanted to do. And I think every mother has it inside of her. They just do what they got to do. They just never going to give up. They're just going to do what they think what's best for their children. And there's just no other option than doing it.
We'd like to take a short break to remind everybody out there that we are doing Colin throughout this interview. So grab your pens and paper and get ready to call in at 541-592-4112. Call in with any thoughts, opinions, or experiences about this topic at 541-592-4112. Again, that's 541-592-4112. Thanks for listening to Ladyline.
So, Gisa, how do you cope with childcare issues?
Well, I'm lucky enough that my oldest daughter is already 16 years old, so she is able to watch over her sisters, which they are all very responsible kids. So, and then also where I live, my landlord is right there, and he is having an eye on them. And when I need somebody to go check on them, there's going to be somebody there in 5 minutes. So I have a hard time trusting anybody with my children that I don't know or I don't trust. But unfortunately, I have just a handful of people I can trust.
That's great.
How do you determine if you can trust someone enough to watch your kids or take care of them when you're not able to?
Oh, I know those people. It wouldn't be anybody that I haven't known for a long time and have been able to rely on in the past. So I would have a hard time randomly leaving my kids with people. So, but these people I already know for a long time and was always able to rely on.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about financial challenges of being a single parent?
Yeah, it's really hard, especially now. School starts again. Just going school shopping for 3 children when you make minimum wage and live right on the poverty guidelines. That's $300, just a pair of shoes, just a set of clothes, and to come up with that in between your daily bills or your regular food costs and everything, it's really hard. So you have to plan for a while and try to put a little bit away at a time, or you're going to have to go to places that give out food or give out clothes. And yeah, that comes again. You need to see and find resources that can help you, because it is hard on a single income to raise your children. There's no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. Could you talk about some of the ways that you cope living with minimum wage?
It's funny. I've been in a situation where I had lots and lots of money, and that was very, very nice. It was very much easier than it is now. And so now I'm living on the minimum wage, but I've never thought about it. You just deal with what you got. You just work with what you got. I mean, it's not that we don't have food on the table. It's not that my kids are running around without clothes or just hole in their clothes. It's, I don't know, somehow you just adjust. And then when you adjust, then you deal with what you got. It's hard for me to explain. It was never a question for me. It's just I work with whatever I got. And even with the minimum wage and with the little money we have each month, we were always able to somehow get by. So you just do it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Were you raised by one or two parents?
I've been raised by 2 parents, and my parents, they met each other when they were teenagers. They married, they had 6 children, and they were together their whole entire life. So yeah, I had what you call a healthy family.
Are there things your parents were able to provide you because there were 2 of them that you find difficult to provide for your children?
So my dad was the only breadwinner in our family because there were 6 children, and my mother just was doing what she did at home. I can't even believe I just said that. My mom was the busiest woman I've ever met in my life. She was taking care of us, was taking care of my dad, was there to support him, and they were just working hand in hand. So we never had like a huge amount of money, but my mother and my dad made it seem super easy. We always had food on the table. We always had clothes to wear. We always, like, they took us on the weekends. We did things. So we didn't really notice that we were poor. So it was always enough.
Yeah. Well, talking about this, do you have anyone who inspires you in single parenting?
I mean, every single parent out there does a great job. I don't really have much time to be around other parents or to even hang out with anybody else. Sometimes it would be very nice if I could exchange my experiences with somebody else, but no, I mean, whatever I hear and whenever I talk to another single parent, you always take things out of what they're telling you and try to be inspired, or you get inspired by them. But I could not say there is a certain person. Everybody inspires me in their own way.
Wow, that's great.
Going back to the last question, what made your mom the most hardworking woman you knew?
I have 3 children, and I know how much work that can be. She had 6 of them and a husband, which makes 7. And she took care of everything. I mean, there was no takeouts ever. She was cooking every single day. She was making bread, was doing canning, whatever you can imagine, and she was still doing the paperwork for my dad's store and washed by hands. My mom actually still sewed socks. Can you imagine that? So if there was a hole in your socks, she fixed it. So it was just, she took 15 minutes a day and said, everybody gets out of this room and shuts up. I need these 15 minutes for me. And that was the only time I ever saw her sit down.
Wow. So kind of continuing about this path, talking about children, how are you preparing for when your children are gone?
I think I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because I believe that all 3 of them, I gave them enough on their way, so I know they're going to be safe in the world, which is my only concern. So I don't have a problem with letting them go when I know because I know they're going to make it out there, and I will be fine. That's when it's going to be me time.
If you had a whole day to yourself, no kids, no job, what would you do?
I think absolutely nothing. Like nothing. I don't think I would even take a shower.
Wow. That's really great. Well, thank you for talking with us today, Gisa. It's been a pleasure. We hope you and all of our listeners enjoyed this topic.
Thank you so much for having me. Bye-bye.
Make sure to tune in next Saturday to hear a whole new interview and theme. Now, unfortunately, we have run out of time, so let's hand it off to the next segment of Empower Hour, Project Redworm.
It's like
Thanks for listening to Ladyline.
It's like those plans that you've been planning for years and it's suddenly happening. Yeah. Like, booyah!
In case you don't understand what we're talking about right there, last week we made an episode all about us pitching to Mr. Poland Project Redworm. Mr. Poland was very excited about our idea, and he was also very supportive. But he did say that before we started Project Redworm, we had to talk with
the leadership teacher, Mr. Bixler, because his leadership students are going to help us at the lunches, and we need his approval.
The life skills teacher, Mr. Gurton. So they can help us out with Project Redworm, and maybe we can give them some of our worms for their gardens.
and Mr. Nathan, the head custodian.
Because if the custodians aren't okay with us having food sitting outside in the trash cans for a long time, then we can't do it because they might not appreciate the fact that it could attract animals.
We had to talk to all of these people before finally starting Project Redworm.
Team Redworm!
Now let's get on with the pitch to the leadership class.
Well, thank you guys for listening to us. First, do you all know RiverStars Performing Arts?
The weird theater group that happens at the end of the day. You should all know about it.
They're not replying, so ask for a show of hands. How many know? How many don't?
How many of you actually know what it is, but I'm pretty sure none of you do it? Okay.
RiverStars
Performing Arts. Art Novas and stuff.
A couple people did raise their hands, but most of them just showed no response. To be honest, it was like they were dead inside.
Okay.
Well, it is a performing arts group for Illinois Valley Youth, and we have started a radio show with some members from RiverStars in it, and we're going to be putting it on the air on June 2nd. And for a segment of this, we're doing a change-making project, and we're including Lorna Byrne. So we're going to be coming in at both lunches and standing by the trash cans to monitor kids when they throw their food away, because we're going to be composting. So they'll put their food in one thing and then their other trash in the regular trash cans.
Yes, I know it seems terrible. You have to reach out your other arm and drop it in the trash, but...
And so we were just wondering if you guys would help us with that. And we're all going to take shifts, and it'll be like half of the lunch so you can eat too, and we'll switch off. Yeah?
And what's the point of doing that?
For those of you that may not have been able to hear, one of the students in the class raised their hand and asked what the point of composting was.
We're going to compost it, and what we're going to do is we're going to take it and then we're going to give it to farmers so that they can compost it for their gardens and redworms.
You guys need a compost bin for that? 'Cause I have one.
Well, composting is good for having less trash in like landfills and stuff. And it's also good for worms, because they are the ones who eat the compost and then
turn it into soil.
And then they turn it into soil, which you can use for plants, which makes nutrient soil and makes the plants a lot healthier.
The reason worms got brought into this is because it's called Project Redworm, and we're going to be giving redworms to the farmers, and yay, happy composting.
Yes, we are also working with the life skills here, and do you guys all know the old garden out back?
Yes,
Yeah.
I talked to Coach Clark yesterday, and we want to help with the garden as well.
Yeah, they completely cleared that out, and we're going to be giving them compost and worms too, so when they start replanting stuff, they can use the compost for their stuff too. And they're also going to be helping us at the lunches with the shifts also. Yeah?
Question about the shifts. So like, will we be pulled out of our classes to do our shift?
In case you couldn't hear, a kid in the back of the class asked us if...
Am I gonna get pulled out of class to do my shift?
No, it's going to be during whatever lunch you have.
We're going to be standing by the trash can and have one other separate trash. You take all your food garbage and you put it in one, and then you take like your plastic, your silverware, and all the stuff that you can't compost, and you put it in the other just trash. Like trash, compost, there's a difference.
So like in the 5th and 6th grade lunch, whichever ones of you are 5th and 6th graders at the time, you'll be at lunch and you'll either eat for the first half of lunch or eat for the second half of lunch, and the other half you'll be standing by the trash cans helping the other kids out so they know what bin to put what thing in. Yeah?
So when you say the first half of lunch, are you referring to lunch and break or just lunch itself?
Like the half-hour lunch period.
And long story short, my class would love to help. And they don't have to touch the food, right? They're just making sure the kids empty it in the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'd love to.
Sometimes us kids, we fall a little short of what we want to say. We have it in our minds, but we just don't know how to convey it to other people, which is why we have teachers like Miss Gina. And right then and there, she saved the day by swooping in and telling everybody what we were thinking.
That's correct, and if you would just
Yeah,
briefly
you don't
speak
have to.
about that, we would be recording the kids, because, I'm super interested in your response, this young lady's, because you looked horrified when your teacher said, yes, we will help. And I'm super curious as to like what sounds nasty about it or what sounds good about it. But it's gonna become a radio show about how hard or easy it is to change things that you think need changing. So really, this project is about, okay, how many of you can think of a single thing that you would like to change, that you would like to be different? Can anybody think of a single thing, or you can? Everybody else is perfectly content with the world as it is?
No one is.
No one is?
Everyone should be raising their hand.
Okay, but you are. One thing you could change. How many of you think it's impossible to change, so why bother, of those people? Or I should maybe phrase it this way, has there been something you wish you could change, whether it's like more recess or longer lunches or whatever, but you've thought it's too hard to change? You have? You haven't? You have, okay. So we're on a mission to make a radio program about, so how hard is this business of change, really? And so one of the other things you'll be doing is just, if people talk to you, being able to clearly articulate back, well, why is it important to separate food from trash? And so doing a little bit of research, because when the food is with the trash, it's bad for both the food and the trash, because neither gets to decompose or processed properly. Is anybody aware of the whole landfill situation?
Yeah.
So, okay, because that could be a really cool thing for you to look at and understand. And Mr. Monroe, Nathan says, now that China has stopped recycling, that the trash cans are overfull. He doesn't know what to do because they only come once a week. So there's lots of ways that this is helping the school, and you think about how you process waste at home, and the farmers in the valley who could grow local food for you, and the life-skilled kids who want to garden, and working with the life-skilled kids, because there'll always be one of them with you instead of thinking of them as those kids, and all of that stuff. So we're really trying to get people excited about making just this small change at the school that could end up being really cool, and other schools could be like, that's how they do it, and it's functional, and it's easy, and people have fun.
Hey, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
And then Lauren Byrne will be like, and then everybody will be like, hey, look at that, let's do that. And they'll take Lauren Byrne and be like, look at that cool school, let's be like them. And then everybody else will start, and then we get happy worms.
And a pile of compost.
Today we're gonna end with a little sneak peek of just how hard editing really is. So here you go. And from this, maybe you'll appreciate our segments just a little bit more.
This isn't working.
What the technology is this?
What the hell?
It's broken!
I broke the internet.
God.
How do you do this again?
Google it. Google it. Google it. Google it.
What the hell? What the hell? What the hell?
How do you do this again? How do you do this again? How do you do this again?
Last week, we talked about what we inherit from our parents. But what if you just have a mom? A single mom? Well, we'd like to talk about that today.
Single moms are my heroes.
This is EmpowerHour, where roaring from the soul is our goal.
The awkward things that happen to us might just happen to you on this episode of My Obnoxious Fandom.
On KXCJLP 105.7 FM, Cave Junction.
Single moms are way beyond awesome. Well, all moms are. But there's something about single mothers that is so astonishing that we end up falling in love with every single mother that we come across. Like, I can't imagine a world where there are no moms. But to be a single mom, they might not always feel as appreciated as they are. And having to cook, clean, work, and take care of the kids all in one day? Wow. So, Maya, what do you think about single moms?
I think that all single moms should remember these words of advice from the song that we are about to play. Ha.
Yeah, this is for the single mothers. I love y'all. Keep doing what y'all do. Go ahead, Anna.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late.
Yeah.
You can't back down.
Single mothers.
You can't back down.
I know the road get long when you all alone. Taking care of your kids all alone. In the tower of a man, nowhere to be found. And on top of that, life is beating you down. Keep your head up and never back down. Gotta give you strength to go another round. The joy that you lost can be found. Life will show your past is to put you down. But keep moving forward, never back down. You a queen with kids and never back down. And don't allow life to beat you to the ground. Put your kids on your back and keep it moving on. And don't allow one of these clowns to tell they don't wanna be with you because you got kids around. Send them pushing and packing. Baby girl, never back down.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
Trying to make your home as stable as it can be. We're working a 9 to 5 so your kids can eat. Deep inside, you know that you a winner, but it's hard to find a babysitter. And it seems like your job don't care. Miss too many days, you out of there. So you go home, smile at your kids. They don't know the pain that you're in. They're kissing on you and telling you they love you. This is why you walk the road hustle. So now you're standing in line to get help. Explaining yourself, but not felt. You have to push for your kids' food and health. There's fears and tears in your eyes. Baby girls, is anything left? Pick yourself off the ground, never back down.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down.
I understand, see I've been through it. That's why I love and respect what you're doing. Just keep standing, keep pushing. For our kids' sake, keep moving. I need you, we need you. But most importantly, your kids need you. A kiss from it, just in case you didn't get it from society. And when the real man begin to look around, he'll never see you if you land on the ground. So stand up and take a stand. Grab the world by the balls and scream your name. No 2 days will ever be the same. The sun have to shine after the rain. The tears have to fall to bleed out the pain. Keep moving forward, never back down, babe.
Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's not too late. You can't back down. You can't back down. Keep on going, you just gotta fight it. Keep on going, cause it's never too late. You can't back down.
Hey, I actually have a single mom.
Oh, yeah.
Well, can you explain how single moms juggle all of this work?
Well, my mom goes to work for most of the day. When she gets home, she's so tired and has pain from her degenerative disc disease, rheumatoid arthritis, carpal tunnel, and an entire other list of health issues from her work. But one of the worst parts about her not being home for most of the day is that I need to take care of my little brother. He can be the most annoying person in the world, but I still love him, even though he, in other words, is a butthole. But recently, my mom has found a boyfriend, so I guess you can call her a single-taken mom. My mom works day and night, and sometimes, if I'm lucky, she'll come home early, and then we can actually talk about her day, my day, and the butthole's day. But in all honesty, my mom works harder than anyone else I've ever met, and I love her for it.
Wow. How do they handle all this stress?
My mom uses her art to help with the stress of it all, whether she's painting skulls or belly dancing. Me, I eat chocolate, and my brother, I really don't know what he does. I guess he just goes insane, which explains a lot.
What is it like having a single mother?
I don't really know how to explain it in my own words, but I know a song that might help describe what it's like.
She had a man, but he left her. He decided he'd rather roam, but he left her with the memories and a child to raise alone. God knows it ain't easy being mom and daddy too, but her pride is strong and she'll go on. Somehow she'll make it through. She wakes up in the morning with just the alarm laying there is on her mind, but she has to get up, feed the baby, get dressed and be at work by 9. There she does the same old job and listens to the same old things. How the guys got lucky again last night, the girls just nag and complain. She's a single mother living in a world that's mean and tough, but she never thinks about giving in or giving up. Times get hard and she gets tired. Sometimes she wants to cry. Just another day in a single mother's life. She comes home at 5 and opens the mail and wonders what she's gonna do. The car payment has to be in by Monday and the rent is a month overdue. She thinks about the guy she's been seeing. Now all they ever do is fight. She wonders how much more she can stand. Nothing ever turns out right. She's a single mother living in a world that's mean and tough, but she never thinks about giving in or giving up. Times get hard and she gets tired. Sometimes she wants to cry. Just another day in a single mother's life. Times get hard and she gets tired. Sometimes she wants to cry. Just another day in a single mother's life. Just another day in a single mother's life. Sometimes she wants to cry. Just another day in a single mother's life. She comes home at 5. Single mother's life.
Wow, that sounds really hard. Can I ask you a few more questions, though?
Guys, you are forgetting that this isn't the interview segment.
How about we talk about some of our famous single moms, though?
I know a few. Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Michelle Williams.
And Madonna!
Yes, Quinn.
Ooh, let's play another song.
Yes. Which one, though?
Rockabye.
Call it love and devotion. Call it a mom's adoration. Foundation, a special bond of creation. Ah. For all the single moms out there going through frustration. Clean Bandit, China Paul, and Marie thing make them air.
She works the nights by the water. She's gone astray, so far away from her father's daughter. She just wants a life for a baby. All on her own, no one will come. She's got to save him.
Daily struggle.
She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you.
Stay up there.
She tells him your life ain't gonna be nothing like my life. You're gonna grow and have a good life. I'm gonna do what I got to do.
Stay up
So rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry. Somebody's got you, rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry. Rock-a-bye,
Rockabye, rockabye. Rockabye, rockabye. Single mom, what you doing out there? Facing the hard life without no fear. Just see and know that you really care. Cause any obstacle come, you well prepare. And no, mama, you never shed tear. Cause you have to set things year after year. And you give the youth love beyond compare. You find the school fee and the bus fare.
Now she got a 6-year-old, trying to keep him warm, trying to keep out the cold. When he looks in her eyes, he don't know he is safe when she says, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you. So rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye. I'm gonna rock you, rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry.
With a bang, bang, bang. Alright then. Rockabye, rockabye. Rockabye, rockabye. Rockabye, don't bother cry. Lift up your head, lift it up to the sky, yo. Rockabye, don't bother cry. Angels around you, just dry your eye.
Now she got a 6-year-old, trying to keep him warm, trying to keep out the cold. When he looks in her eyes, he don't know he is safe when she says. She tells him, ooh, love, no one's ever gonna hurt you, love. I'm gonna give you all of my love. Nobody matters like you. Yeah. So rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye.
Rockabye, rockabye.
You rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry.
Rockabye, rockabye.
You rock-a-bye, baby, rock-a-bye.
Rockabye, rockabye.
You rock-a-bye, baby, don't you cry.
With a bang, bang, bang. Alright then. Rockabye, don't bother cry. Lift up your head, lift it up to the sky, yo. Rockabye, don't bother cry. Angels around you, just dry your eye.
We love that song.
Well, I am sorry to say that we are out of time.
But tune in next Saturday at 11 for our next episode.
And for all of you single mothers out there, don't give up. And remember, we love you.
You've just been empowered by the hour. Bye!
EmpowerHour is a project of RiverStars Performing Arts made possible by the Oregon Community Foundation's Community Grant. Rants are written and performed by Annie Hertler. Ladyline is written by Isadora Millay and hosted by Phoebe Hertler and Isadora Millay. My Obnoxious Fandom is written by Maisie Drew and Maya Hauk and hosted by Maisie Drew, Maya Hauk, and Leah Atlas. Our adult helpers are Nellie Barrera, Keith, Chris Hall, and Gina Angelique. Make sure to follow us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/IVRiverStars and subscribe to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/RiverStars Performing Arts. Stay tuned for Section D with Midge No Take coming right up. You're listening to KXCJLP 105.7 FM, Cave Junction. KXCJ thanks all of our supporters and underwriters such as DH Excavation and Construction, offering full-service general construction and design/build options on quarter and half-acre lots. Contact Don Howard at 1-808-281-9941.
Something for my godson Elijah and a little girl named Corinne. Some say the blacker the better, the sweeter the juice. I say the darker the flesh and the deeper the roots. I give my holler to my sisters on welfare, Tupac kids, if don't nobody else care. And I know they like to beat you down a lot. And when you come around the block, brothers clown a lot. But please don't cry, dry your eyes, never let up. Forgive, but don't forget, girl, keep your head up. And when he tells you you ain't nothing, don't believe him. And if he can't learn to love you, you should leave him. Cause sister, you don't need him. And I ain't trying to gas you up, I just call him how I see. You know what makes me unhappy? That when brothers make babies and leave a young mother to be a cat. And since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and I came from a woman. I wonder why we take from our women, why we rape our women, do we hate our women? I think it's time to kill for our women, time to heal our women, be real to our women. And if we don't, we'll have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies. And since a man can't make one, he has no right to tell a woman when and where to create one. So will the real men get up? I know you're fed up, ladies, but keep your head up. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Keep your head up. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Hey yo, I remember Marvin Gaye used to sing to me. He had me feeling like black was the thing to be. And suddenly the ghetto didn't seem so tough. And though we had it rough, we always had enough. I huffed and puffed about my curfew and broke the rules. Run with the local crew and had a smoke or two. I realized mama really paid the price. She nearly gave her life to raise me right. And all I had to give her was my pipe dream of how I rock the mic and make it to the right screen. I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. It's hard to be legit and still pay your rent. And in the end, it seems I'm heading for the pen. I try to find my friends, but they're blowing in the wind. Last night, my buddy lost his whole family. It's gonna take the man in me to conquer this insanity. It seems the rain will never let up. I try to keep my head up and still keep from getting wetter. You know it's funny when it rains, it pours. They got money for wars, but can't feed the poor. Said it ain't no hope for the youth, and the truth is it ain't no hope for the future. And then they wonder why we crazy. I blame my mother for turning my brother into a crack baby. We ain't meant to survive cause it's a setup. And even though you're fed up, you gotta be your head up. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy. You gotta be your head up. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. Oh, keep your head up. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy. Keep your head up. Ooh, child, things will get brighter. And to all the ladies having babies on their own, I know it's kinda rough and you're feeling all alone. Daddy's long gone and he left you by your lonesome. Thank the Lord for my kids, even if nobody else want them. Cause I think we can make it, in fact I'm sure. And if you fall, stand tall or come back for more. Cause ain't nothing worse than when your son wants to know why his daddy don't love him no more. You can't complain you was dealt this hell of a hand without a man feeling helpless. Because there's too many things for you to deal with. Dying inside, but outside you're looking fierce. While the tears is rolling down your cheek, you're steady hoping things don't all fall this week. Cause if it did, you couldn't take it. And don't blame me, I was given this world, I didn't make it. And now my son's getting older and older and cold from having the world on his shoulders. While the rich kids are driving Benz, I'm still trying to hold on to surviving friends. And it's crazy, it seems they'll never let up. But please, you gotta keep your head up.